Let's take a few moments to reconnect with the nature and reconnect to yourself with the intention that all these activities, teachings, meditations may benefit to all sentient beings. Yesterday we talked about the stages of meditation, how we gently train the mind and become stable, clear, and open. We also discussed the purpose of life. Mm, Today we continue go a little bit deeper into this topic, I think. And we will look more closely at how to recognize the preciousness of life and make it more meaningful and reflect on how to live our daily life with peace and happiness. Uh, that being said, everything we do in life is really about wanting happiness, right? And trying to stay away from unhappiness, suffering. That's the real goal. However, if we do not realize that both happiness and suffering depend on the habits of our own mind, and instead blame on external situations, then, as you know, negative habits will grow stronger and keep us from seeing things clearly, very hard to make good decisions. But if we realize that the mind is where both happiness and suffering come from, then we will understand why it matters to take care of the mind. So we should learn to manage negative thoughts uh, and we should practice patience in different situations. That's important, I think. When we do this, our actions will sort of naturally lead to happiness and peace. So I think it's very important to focus on how to create happiness in daily life, not just during the meditation or teaching or whatever, but just during just how to create that happiness in day-to-day life. And creating happiness in daily life is not about waiting for the right conditions outside of us, but it's about cultivating positive actions that brings peace, satisfaction, and joy. So therefore, it's beneficial to do at least one kind act each day that makes both you and others happy. Can you do that? Would be great. Because, not necessarily big, as I mentioned yesterday, just small action, um, even say nice things to somebody or to yourself that, whatever makes you and others happy. I think that's really, you say, like you investigate yourself, okay, I went this retreat, this teaching, and we meditate together. Now almost time goes so fast, very quick. So when you go home, you have to sort of investigate, you have to check, okay, I went there and spend a lot of money, lots of time. You don't have to waste. You don't, you have to think, okay, what was the main thing I need to change because of that, the teachings and meditations. Um, it's always come together as a Sangha member or spiritual friend to support each other. That's always really good. But for yourself, when you go home, what you need, what you should do something that you have not done yet. That what I'm thinking is like, as I said, everybody want happiness and peace in their life. So how to create that happiness and peace in your daily life? Uh, so it's really beneficial, at least, like one kind of act each day, that makes you and others happy. So you can do that. So if you sort of make a commitment, or I think there will be the sort of the result, good result, of this event, this retreat. So if you can do that, so I think you should think about. I'm not saying you have to do it, but what is the benefit of to a lot time spend time here and receive um, these teachings and meditate, and um, so we have to think about um, studying Buddhism, or receive teachings. Buddhist teachings is really about uh, looking at your own life and uh, learn how to create happiness for everyone. But basically, if you create happiness for yourself, as long as you are happy, you create, then I think your actions and whatever you do, you can make others happy. So I think first we have to take care of ourselves, even though this is the sort of Hinayana's uh, viewpoint. But we start with, first, I think we start with ourselves, how to take care of our life. Because if we don't know how to take care of our life, then it's hard to help others. So once you are happy, you have a peaceful life, then I think easy to think about others. Then you can move a little bit more and go deeper and practice Mahayana. Mahayana practice, we talked about yesterday, a kind heart. It's everything. But first we have to create that, like develop that kind heart for ourselves. If you don't sort of transform your negative mind, then there is no such thing as, Dharma practice, right? Um, if you follow the teachings without understanding them, they remain something outside of you. Uh, Buddha always said, to his disciples, don't keep these teachings outside of you. If you keep sort of big gap between the teachings and you, then teaching means nothing. So, but when you reflect, investigate, study, and develop your own sort of insight, the teachings become part of your own life, part of your own mind. Then you can see the benefit of receiving teachings and practice Dharma. Uh, we have this problem. We receive lots of teachings, but we really, we're kind of everything like if you receive lots of teachings, you understand, but that's intellectual. That's not really, really helpful. Um, but if we try to put that into our life, then the teachings sort of become part of big part of your life. So in Buddhist teachings, it's said that even when we talk about practice, discipline, motivation, or meditation, mm, uh, they should always be guided by wisdom, right? Every thought we have is influenced by ego, usually. And most of our beliefs come from the sort of the selfish mind. So therefore, the first step in Buddhist practice is to recognize these negative habits and then uh, look for a solution, you know. I have people are different because how you create these negative habits. Some people are very angry. Some people have lots of attachment problems. Some people, so it's a different. So therefore, you have to, in Buddhist, the first step is you have to investigate yourself and recognize what kind of negative thoughts or emotion is this in daily life, your daily life, always there. So you have to recognize that, and then you look, okay, what is the solution? Because it's not sort of your real life, so you can change it. This is a sort of fundamental reason for practice in Buddhism. As you know, Buddhism does not ask you to accept the teachings blindly. It teaches that you should always act guided by your own understanding and wisdom. And when you are able to do that, then, whatever arises in the mind becomes great wisdom rather than ignorance. Uh, for example, if you get angry and then you just follow that negative emotion, that harms you and others. So you have to recognize, oh, I can't allow this. There is a solution. So if you do that, so then after that, whatever arises in your mind, it becomes sort of great wisdom. You are not sort of controlled by ignorance. So this is when real transformation takes place. So that's, I think, important. Anyway, we uh, have discussed the three methods, right? Rest in the mind, continuous resting, and repeated resting. Just again, these are pretty important if you want to practice um, mindfulness and whatever. And these methods are important to keep in your mind during your meditation. Um, Buddhist teachings apply to everyone, as I said yesterday, but how they work for your life depends on your individual circumstances and your individual capacity. When beginning Buddhist practice, some people, often focus on ideas um, like, future lives and all this, what do you call it, hill realms and karma and so on and so forth. Yes, in Buddhist teachings, they talk about those things. But if you don't fully understand these sort of concepts, it can create hesitation and slow down your practice. So, my advice is that if you don't understand these ideas like future life and, karma or whatever, or if you have no reason to believe, or if you cannot accept these kind of concepts, you should not force yourself to engage sort of with this kind of concept ideas. Um, the most important is to focus on becoming a good human being. In Buddhism, there are lots of instructions and good ideas how to change and become a good human being. You should focus on more that kind of teachings, Um, For example, every evening, take time to reflect on your day, as I said. What did I do today? It helps me a lot. Maybe you too, if you sort of invest rather than think about someone else's actions, just to think about yourself. What did I do today? Did any of my actions created negative habits or caused harm to others? That's very important. As an ordinary person, we always make mistakes. So I'm sure you will find something that not nice. If you do it, then don't blame yourself, you know. So if you find something, then purify them, Meaning, you say yourself, I'm not to sort of repeat it, them in the future. Um, Now you know how to think about mindfulness. So tomorrow or whatever in the future, I will try to be mindful. Um, you see that kind of situation, you should focus on that kind of things rather than uh, how do I know is there a future life, or how do I know the hill realms? And, that doesn't help your life right now. Uh, this is what truly matters in Buddhism and in practice in Buddhism. You investigate your actions and then how to change that and make it better and better, at least month by month or year. We all experience negative emotions, such as anger, fear, anxiety, and worry. Um, what can I can tell you, and then the proof is that you can reduce these negative emotions and eventually eliminate them through your practice. Otherwise, like if you are a really angry person and if you just, it is like just a permanent and you can't purify, you can't do anything, then why you think about it and make a commitment? But that's not the case. I'm 100% sure that you know, I can prove, you can change that. That's I can guarantee you. If you are a very angry person, you can change it through practice Buddhism. I think that is what truly matters. I cannot speak about your past life, karma, all that kind of things, but I can explain um, how karma functions in your daily life, and I can show that it can be purified. Um, I don't know who are you, what your past life and your past life karma or all that kind of things. But I know how karma functions in your daily life, and I can show that, and tell you that you can be purified if you want. If you believe in this and trust that you can do it, you can purify it, then you will become a good human being. I always think that's truly matters. And it will not really matter what other things, as I said. So if you are like, one thing is you have to understand what does like become a good human being mean. You have to understand that. And then you really become a good human being. Who cares? There is a future life, or you'll be just fine if there's a karma. If you are not good human beings, then it doesn't matter if they're, if somebody say, oh, there's no future life. If there is a future life, you're going to suffer. Uh, so you should focus on, this is sort of, I'm telling you, my ideas. I'm not telling you to what to do or not. I'm not telling you that. I'm not force you anything, but my opinion, you should focus on your daily life and continue your practice. You see, and I will explain how to maintain your meditation practice. So that's I think important. You need to sort of remember that you are responsible for your own spiritual journey. You know, uh, the Buddha is not responsible. Our teachers are not responsible. You are the responsible. Your spiritual journey. For example, as I am a Buddhist teacher, my responsibility is just give you the teachings based on my, pure or good motivation. Other than that, I can't do anything. Um, so you should really remember that you are responsible for your own journey, spiritual journey. And do not try to rush or take sort of shortcuts, It doesn't work. I had that experience. Meditation is a lifelong journey. That is what gives it both sort of beauty and benefit. That's why Buddha always say, okay, Buddhism, your spiritual practice is your journey, lifelong journey, and to discover who you are. So no rush. Don't take shortcut. Patience important. Patience with yourself allows you to keep going, and helps you to fully enjoy the sort of journey all the way. So if you wish to continue to practice in Buddhism, you need to remember the benefit of meditation. And when you meditate, try to keep gentle awareness and try to avoid distractions as much as you can. Again, um, don't try too hard, just be gentle. when your distraction, when your thought arise, just to notice them and then return your attention to the present. uh, Meditation is not about a very intensive focus, but about sort of maintaining relaxed, ongoing and sort of intention. Meditation, you know meditation, sometimes people meditate, they think, oh, I can't move, you know even though my body's hurt, getting, start numb, and but I supposed to be like just, you know without move. Not like that. It's not intensive focus. It's opposite. You have to be relaxed as much as you can. Sometimes you need to move. That makes your body and mind relax. Sometimes you don't need to. Whatever, you just trust your body and mind. But you have to keep that gentleness, and there's no rules. you know. I know you guys like to follow the rules, but it's just uh, listen your body and mind. It's the rule. So relaxed intention is more important than intensity. Um, During your meditation session, your focus will wander any times, and each time you realize you are distracted, um, again, do not judge yourself. Judge yourself means like, oh, I'm terrible, I'm not good meditator. Not like that, but simply return to resting, um, because with each return, the habit of awareness strengthened. So every time you return your attention, you are cultivating your mindfulness, right? That's important. And another important point to remember is that if you want to meditate, uh, 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 if your meditation to be truly meaningful, if you want, you also need the right motivation and sense of commitment. Uh, that's another important, because then, for example, if you meditate for 10 minutes based on beneficial motivation, then the 10 minutes is really great karma. You are creating good karma. Uh, if you have not good motivation, then the 10 minutes is kind of like, waste time. So your motivation is, the desire to be free from suffering all sentient beings, right? Including yourself. So motivation has a profound effect on the result of um, any action, actually, which makes it very important. Um, so uh, these things, be be gentle with yourself, meditate, and then motivation, like that, and then commitment. Your commitment also important. Your commitment is, say, I will continue my practice no matter what. You know, um, when I am distracted or discouraged or faced with sort of challenges in my life, I will not stop practicing. This commitment uh, helps you maintain your practice constantly, continuously. So, motivation helps you start, and commitment helps you keep continue, you know, even sometimes when you don't feel like practicing, right? Um, the mind loves habits, So if you commit to daily practice, then meditation becomes part of your routine instead of something you do only when you are in the mood. So that's why it's important. And the real changes from meditation, like, reduced your stress and emotional balance, uh, that's beneficial. But without motivation and without commitment, you might not stay long enough to experience sort of these deeper benefits. So before you start your meditation each day, it's important to decide how long you are going to sit and meditate. Um, if you are, advanced practitioner, doesn't matter. You're totally fine. I'm not talking, that kind of people. But if you are not, kind of beginner, then I would say, before you start your meditation every day, uh, you should sort of think and decide it, like how long you're going to sit and meditate. Uh, if you don't give yourself a sort of set goal, you might give up after a few minutes. If you say, okay, I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes, then I think that helps keep going, because even though like after 5 minutes it's kind of hard, then you say, oh, it's still not 20 minutes there yet, so I'm going to practice more. But otherwise, if you don't set that kind of goal, and after 5 minutes, okay, I can't, so I'm done. So that's why I think set a goal before you meditate, I think sometimes helpful. And then also meditating with a group can also be very helpful. Uh, when you meditate with a group, like here, uh, the length of the session will be determined for you, right? I will say, oh, I will look around, okay, they're a little bit tired or whatever, okay, I will do 5 minutes. And I say, oh, if you're very excited, okay, let's do 10 minutes. So the group meditation also very helpful. So sitting with a group also encourage you to keep going, right? So whether you practice alone or with a group, meditation will help you connect more deeply with yourself and also those around you. So therefore, meditation is a key practice for discovering your true nature and also eliminate your negative emotions. That's the benefit, you know. That's if you remember the benefit of meditation, you wanted to meditate. Um, for example, if you understand the sort of some idea, you know, the benefit of the teachings of Buddha, then you want to study, you know. So that's important. I always like talk about the benefit of to, you know, have a kind heart first. Um, then you want to practice a kind heart. Then I will give you the instruction. Okay, if you really want to practice, this is how you develop your kind heart. Rather, you know, if I just give you the instructions, you don't know what is the benefit, then it's not give you sort of, you know, this excitement, you know. So therefore, uh, you have to understand the benefit of meditation. Meditation is a key practice, you know, for your for discovering your who you are, the your true nature, and more importantly, meditation will help you to eliminate all these negative thoughts and emotions. So hopefully one day you will reach your goal. Um, and also that's another thing you have to make a sort of this is my goal, you know. Uh, then you work on that, and so if you have that kind of, you know, one day you will for sure, if you keep going, you will reach your goal, and to liberate yourself if that's your goal, and also benefit others. I believe it's possible for all of you to achieve liberation one day if you continue to practice properly, correctly. Liberation is about realizing your true nature and eliminating negative thoughts. For example, when you have fully developed sort of compassion and your wisdom, you know, then, you know, you no longer experience anger. At that point, you have overcome one of the major negative emotions of the mind, which is I think profound achievement. Anger, compassion cannot be together. So if you developed compassion, that means you purified or eliminate the, the anger, which is very important. The big problem is in our life is what the anger, you know. So this is why the great meditators or great teachers say this: the union of compassion and wisdom is the path. Remember that. The union of compassion and wisdom is the path. And bodhicitta, a kind heart, is the bridge between understanding and realization. Without both compassion and wisdom working together, the spiritual journey is not complete or correct. So when these two qualities together, the path becomes perfect and unmistakable. Compassion and wisdom. Then kind heart or bodhicitta serves as the bridge that allows you to walk on the path and gives the direction to your practice and protects you from getting stuck on your journey. Because bodhicitta or this kind heart, as long as you have that, you are not afraid of anything. So I want you to understand this. With bodhicitta, every meditation and every effort becomes part of a greater training, dedicated not only for your own benefit, but the benefit of all beings. So, bodhicitta, a kind heart, opens the heart, helping you mm, remain emotionally and spiritually flexible. With it, your heart becomes more adaptable, and willing to respond to life as it is. Some part of life are painful, right? And confusing. But bodhicitta, a kind heart, gives the courage to stay strong and present because you're not only there for yourself. You're there for the benefit of all beings. That is what is about the kind heart. So this deeper purpose makes your heart more willing to feel, to listen, and to act. That's what it means, courageous you. So you allow your sort of heart to stay open and helps you act wisely even when life is uncertain and sometimes painful. So together, wisdom and a kind heart, compassion, give you the motivation to seek liberation and the confidence that awakening is truly possible, even in this lifetime, if you develop this kind of capacity. So therefore, these two uh, practices are among the most profound practice in Buddhism. Um, they are also universal, not limited to any sort of specific culture or a belief. When wisdom and compassion come together, your path becomes sort of alive, you know. Basically, you cannot practice Buddhism without wisdom and compassion. So these meditations can be integrated with all your daily activities. Compassion, wisdom, and they're truly beneficial and supporting your actions. But, you know, in our right now, the current situation, we may not yet have that sort of capacity to fully do this. Therefore, we must first focus on improving ourselves. Um, and the question is, how do we improve ourselves? How do you improve yourself? And Buddhism, improvement comes from walking on the path, not just thinking about it. Meaning, study these kind of teachings deeply, not just um, collect ideas or methods, but to put them into practice. That's pretty important. Buddhism teaches that there is no external creator and that everything we experience arises from our own mind. If you think about, the Buddha was a very simple person, even though he was born in royal family, but somehow, some reason he did not like um, stay and grew up um, in his royal family. He wanted to be a very simple person. And also Buddha was, you know, just, you know, like a very simple person, not someone we could never be. He was just like us. That's important to understand because, you know, sometimes gives you encourage, you know, oh, he was just a normal person, but he recognize it and give us these teachings from his own experience, wisdom, and compassion. So I can do that. So it kind of gives you more enthusiasm, you know. But the difference is that Buddha learned to let go of everything um, and lived fully present in each moment. It's natural for us to struggle, but you don't need to, you know, give up everything at once. Otherwise, when you think about the stories of his life, or he gave up his family, luxury, all these things, and do I need to do that if I follow him? No, absolutely not. So you start by letting go of, for example, like one worry or one resentment, even if only for a moment. So that's great. So be gentle with yourself. The Buddha taught that compassion must start with your own heart. So when you think about compassion, like you become automatically very become very gentle person. Um, by being gentle and kind with yourself, transformation arises more naturally rather than like force to yourself and blame on yourself. It's hard. So the teachings show that both wisdom and compassion are in Buddhism, both are found within. Um, because the Buddha said that awakening is like crossing a river, meaning one step at a time. You can't just jump. So daily practice, even 5 minutes of meditation or a simple act of kindness gradually transforms all these negative habits. That's what we call in Buddhism pure purification, purify the mind. And then over time, the mind learns to let go more easily if you do this one step at a time. Then you feel everything is kind of natural, but then you learn a lot if you investigate. Um, so just slowly, over time, your mind learns to let go more easily. Whatever you possess, the mind learns to um, respond without strong attachment. That means there is a more room to experience life fully and more room for the ego mind to dissolve. So when you enter the Mahayana path, you become a genuine practitioner of compassion. So therefore, there is no need to make major changes to your lifestyle because superficial changes are not natural. The changes that arise natural sort of through this kind of meditation are very beneficial. If you are not ready and then you change something, it's very superficial. It's not good for you, I think. Um, but that's why I say just be patient with yourself because take time. Um, so you have to be patient with your practice and your practice will transform your mind, giving you sort of fresh insight into everyday experience. That's how you practice Buddhism from my own experience. to experience the benefits of meditation, it is necessary to practice regularly, right? Just like with any other activity. So you may not be successful all the time, right? But try to meditate every day. Teachers say that if you use them wisely, the body and mind can serve as a boat to liberation. Otherwise, they become like, what do you call it, like chains that bind you in this world, this samsara, which is lots of suffering. So, body and mind, teachers say, right? Body and mind can serve as a boat to liberation, enlightenment. Body and mind refers to all aspects of your life, yourself, I mean, your actions, your thoughts, and your intentions, and so on and so forth, right? I'm just sort of, explain like the teachers say, if you use them wisely, right, body and your mind, use them wisely means cultivating positive habits, such as, you know, just this compassion, wisdom, when you do this, your thoughts, actions, and experience becomes a boat, like a boat, that helps you cross from suffering to liberation. In other words, your ordinary life can serve as a path for spiritual growth if you train your mind properly. But if you don't train your mind and actions and give in sort of to negative habits, then your body and mind hold you back, keeping you in this endless cycles of uh, samsaric, this suffering, you know. So body and mind can be really great, can be very bad. This is what Buddhism calls samsara, right? However, when the mind is fully engaged in a positive attitude through practice, negative habits will gradually diminish. In this way, your mind and body act like like a tool, method. They have immense potential, but their effect depends on how you use them, right? So if you use them wisely, they can lead you to freedom from suffering. If you use them badly, you never get away from this samsara, the suffering of this world. That's up to you, right? Your responsibility. Um, okay. Meditate for a few minutes. So, as always, sit in a comfortable position with straight your back if you want. If you want, close your eyes, relax your body, and sometimes you need to, if you want to take a few deep breaths and remember, bring mindfulness to the present, reconnect sort of yourself, your nature. Gently observe your breath and breathe in and out slowly. Just this helps you, both your body and mind sort of settled and relaxed, comfortable. So this is like as usual, just breathe in and out gently. Um, okay, meditate, I think, bodhicitta, a kind heart with mindfulness, maybe a few minutes. So once you're there, uh, then kind of like open your heart and think deeply, like uh, uh, like may this meditation uh, help me cultivate a kind heart so that I can benefit uh, myself and others, and sort of say that or make it that kind of commitment, and then gently sort of breathe in, um, and imagine this world is suffering with your compassion, and then just letting it dissolve into your heart, and then rest in sort of compassionate awareness. And then, if you want, then again gently breathe out with your love and peace from your heart. Um, Feel the energy of your love, and then rest there with love and relax with that kind of feeling. So breathe in, feel the suffering of all beings in this world with your compassion, and then breathe out if you want, and with your love, your peace, and then relax with that kind of feeling. So continue with